It's so easy to say that I've been on, 17 combat deployments. Well, if you've been on that many, you should have already been, seasoned, and you shouldn't have to worry about anything.
Roger, copy. Hey, do not engage. They're directly to our west. It's coming from their west.
Well, each one I picked up another one. I talked about uninvited guests. I picked up another one. And when they all come together and they get in your heart and your mind, your body is not in control.
Hey!
My first deployment was in Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and being young and being just full of energy, I couldn't wait to go out there and just put what we've practiced, what we've trained for into place. And really that's what changed my whole career. It wasn't just the 4 years anymore. I knew that I wanted to stay longer. I knew specifically I had a problem when I was being irritated a little bit more. I was being lost a little bit more, meaning, most people go to a grocery store and they pick up a 5-pound bag of sugar and they just throw it in their cart. I pick up a 5-pound bag of sugar and I feel a human arm in my hand.
We're trying to get 1-4 up here also.
That's what I see. I get lost. The grocery store could be full of people and I don't see nothing but me in that one area in Afghanistan picking up that human arm. After Desert Storm, I came back with a lot of, had anger issues. I think the anger issues came from why my friends, one had passed, the one was exposed to chemicals. Fast forward, in between 9/11 and Desert Storm, I was involved with some hostage rescue missions, as well as some drug interdiction. The more and more of these missions that came up, the more and more I had that same feeling I had in Desert Storm. I lost 14 of my friends, some within arm's distance of me, that I still remember to this day. 3 of those 14 friends, you'll hear me say, an uninvited guest entered their lives. And they committed suicide. They brought the war back with them. That uninvited guest stayed in their heart and flipped the switch on their mind.
Just a few weeks ago, Daniel Summers, who served 2 tours in Iraq, took his own life. He was just 30 years old.
I would talk to others about, hey, if you have a bad day, if you're having bad thoughts, go seek assistance. And I have to be honest, I did not seek assistance. I was the one telling others, but inside saying I can do it on my own.
One veteran every 65 minutes, 22 a day, commit suicide.
When I really had the wake-up call is when I had a nightmare, and I'm not proud of this, but I grabbed my wife, and I knew then that I had to change something. I knew that I had to, honor my wife, honor my family, because, it affects them too. At that time, it was my last year on active duty. I see multiple therapists, and then medicine started to come in and help. But I really was starting to not feel like myself anymore. I was so sedated. I told my provider that what can I do to start reducing my medications? The VA said, have you ever thought about getting a service dog? At first I thought, there's no way a service dog is going to help the challenges that I have. I reached out to a service dog provider, and that service dog provider said, absolutely, you're accepted. They said it's going to be a year wait. And I thought, well, this is great. These things are really coming together. 2 years came. I got the story that it'll be another year. And then the breaking point came for me was when they said, it looks like it's going to be up to 4 years now. And Barb, my wife, says, Eric, just look for another one. So did a little research and then found out that I live in Mentone, Alabama, and here was this organization, Warrior Freedom Service Dogs, 30 miles from my house. I reached out to Warrior Freedom Service Dogs and was just asking questions on lead time. The next morning, I get an email from the operations director, and she starts off the email with blessings. They said, absolutely. It could happen. You could have your dog as early as the summer. We'd love to meet with you. Could you send us the required documents? I started with Warrior Freedom in February. Still a skeptic on, can this dog really change my life? I would, take the dogs on walks and learn about dogs, because again, I'm still new in the dog area, and I just didn't know what to do. But Julie guided me, Adam guided me, and they kept telling me that the dog would pick me. So you can imagine my skepticism when they said, the dog's gonna choose me? We walked up to the woods together, me and Phantom. And I had a bad nightmare that night that kept me up. Phantom nudged my leg with his nose very, very hard. He sat, he put his right paw on my left foot, I can still feel it today, and looked up at me. It didn't matter if I took 5 steps or 20 steps and stopped. He would look at me as to, he saw what I was going through. And he had that look as he stared up at me as, I got you. You got nothing to worry about. We're out in the woods. Let's enjoy nature together. But it was like a teammate that I would have saying the same thing in the military, that I got you. We're gonna get through this together. It was a moment that I will never forget. I walked down the hill. Adam and Julie were there talking. I walked up, engaged in some conversation. As I did that, Phantom laid across both of my feet and looked up at me. Adam and Julie both looked at each other and said, he has never done this before. I think we know Phantom just picked you